Josh, do we really have free will? Now, this is a mind question. I'm going to touch on it because it's kind of fun. Like, I just like some questions, even though there's no way that the mind that's asking that question can assimilate that answer. There's no satisfying answer. You might can get an answer that can satisfy you a little bit psychologically for a little while, but then the mind will come back with another another angle to it and be like, "Well, I don't know though. Maybe that's not true." Intuitively, you come to know these things, and you can't explain it. Not in a very uh, complete logical way. You can't articulate it in a complete way because these are existential subjects and questions. Like, how are you going to answer 'em? Anyway, see, we don't have free will on the deepest level. On the deepest level, like we don't have a form. We don't even have a will. Now you can say God, well, what do you mean? God must have manifested a will to create all this. God manifested, you can say, uh, an I am, which that has a will, but the source itself, it doesn't have any quality or anything. How can it? It's the total screen that everything else has. Everything comes after that, even the subtlest things, will, intuition, knowledge. The real self doesn't have knowledge. It's what's it gonna know? It's everything. So do we have free will? When we're in this body, in this 3D reality, there's definitely an appearance of self-will. But there's a couple questions I like to ask that kind of put things back in perspective. And that is, do I know what my next thought's going to be? Can I control how I feel about a certain situation? If you have a friend, or even better, a romantic partner, and you feel this deep love and adoration for them, can you just turn that off and instead project it onto somebody that you just naturally feel repulsive toward? Can you do that? Do you have the free will to do that? Can you like go swim a mile in the ocean and make it? You have the free will to try, but see, I would go further and say you don't even have the free will to even trying. You're not deciding that. It definitely looks like it. Okay, let's do an example. Now I'm going to choose to pick this rock up. No, I'm not going to choose. I don't want to do it. No, I'm going to do it. Now it's already been written in destiny. Am I going to pick this rock up? Now, in this human persona's individualized self right now, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up. Like, really, I don't. I'm not like playing. Like, I don't know. Huh. I kind of think I will, but then I'm like, no, but I'm not. I'm going to show that I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna demonstrate I have free will. I can play this game with myself if I want, but see, I know it's just a game. It's already been written if I'm gonna pick that rock up or not. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. I might. So who's choosing that? Who's doing that? The consciousness wants to play like that. It's already been. It knew that this was going to happen since eternity. This moment right now. Am I going to pick this rock up or not? And am I going to play around about it? How can something? How can there be a real genuine choice that hasn't already been written? Everything. It's like the screenwriter that makes a really good movie. Everything that in that movie, and it looks like there's choices, like the hero is making deep choices, like because he has to get his girl back, and the villain has the girl, and the villain has a good army, like they're like all trained assassins, and the hero is also pretty good, and so they're all they got to outsmart each other, and deep thinking, right? But screenwriter wrote all that, the deep thinking, the figuring it out, and oh man, I'm not gonna make it. Oh, I made it, or oh, thank God I got her. Done. We don't know. Gut wrenching plots. So see, all that's been written. Now, are there parallel realities though? Like, can you say, okay, it's all been written already, but it's like, you remember that game? I never played it much because I just didn't. Dungeons and Dragons, like people got into that when I was a kid, like 40 years ago. Do they still have it even? I don't know. It's probably a whole nother level. But in you, no matter which way you go, there's all these different ways you can go. You'll end up here. Okay. So is it that the main destiny's already written? So there's no free will. Like everyone's gonna wake up at some point because it's destiny. But the how and the why and the when and the where and all that stuff, is there any free will there? Is there any improvisation? I've heard from some masters it's like 90% destiny, 10% improvisation. The higher level, the more conscious you are, the more that you so-called one with creation, and therefore your improvisation percentage goes up. But see, we don't have that master here in front of us to break this down. He's talking general to hundreds of thousands of people. I'd go further. So let's talk more about that. 90%. Let's just say 90% destiny, 10% free will, improv. Even that 10% though, I would challenge. Is it really? Do we really? Okay, we've agreed that everyone's going to get to the destiny, let's say. How about all these different ways to get there? Can we choose? Do we have some improvisation with that? Like what's the individualized free will self going to choose? I would say there's a strong appearance of that. The more conscious one is, the more stronger, the more apparent choices he's going to seem to have. But still, it's been written that which choice he's going to make. That you can say the supreme being already knows. It's not like the supreme being is like, whoa, I wonder what my creation's going to do, huh? Unless he wants to like put himself to sleep for a second, like we all did, and then discover every moment is fresh. Like, whoa, what's going to happen? But, so you see, like how are you going to talk about this stuff? And so then the mind comes and has all these opinions and says, well, but I feel this and I feel that, and this master said this and that. And I'm like, it's cool, because I don't have any position about what are we doing? How's a human being gonna work? As long as we're in this human form, it's very limited, our understanding of things. Intuitively, we can understand, you can say maybe everything, but you can't articulate that. Like, how are we gonna articulate that? Words are like a joke compared to what the intuition can intuit as far as the vastness goes. What are you going to do? You can't even, it's not even any shapes or symbols when you go deep enough. There's just kind of like, that's what it is. That's all you can say. So anyway, people have been wanting to know, wanting to hear a little bit about that. And I like that word, choiceless choice. That's always felt good. That's a good way of summing it up. There appears to be a choice, but really, wow, I forgot about, am I going to pick the rock up or not? I don't know. Maybe I'll turn the video off and then pick it up. I don't know. I'm not going to pick it up. All right. Let me know if you like that. I'll see you.